Welcome to our business meeting for October 14, 2020 at 6 p.m. Notice of this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Law. Please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded for possible later playback. Everyone, please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Here.
Councilwoman Hess.
Here.
Councilman Jackson.
Here.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Here.
Councilman Strapoli. Councilman Strapoli. President Randolph Sharp has an excused absence. Mayor.
Here. Joe Strapoli, are you there? Okay. Approval of minutes for council meeting September 9th, 2020, and council meeting and executive session September 23rd, 2020. Entertain a motion.
I'll make first.
Make a motion, we go whatever.
Oh, there's Joe.
Uh-huh.
And a second, please.
Second. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Joe D. Joe D, you
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
Entertain a motion for payment of bills, please, that have been duly audited by the treasurer.
I make a motion that we pay the bills that have been audited and approved and pay them.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2020-18 amends ordinance 2015-13 zoning design. Entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance 2020-18 and publish it according to law and host it in the Borough Hall.
I'm sorry.
We need a second.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
I've got to go back to using my tablet. I keep missing things. The following reports have been filed in their respective offices and are in the minutes for review. The tax collector's report, the sewer report, and the treasurer's report. Next up, consent agenda. The following items have been considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be enacted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussions of these items. If discussion is these items, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Entertain a motion for resolution 2020-175 through 178.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli. Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
Okay, we had a request at the last meeting to start doing the department reports again, and I'm going to start with Joe DiDomenico.
Thank you, sir. Lindenwold Police Department activity report for September 2020. Total calls of service, 2146. Traffic accidents, 39. Community policing, 198. Traffic enforcement and stop, 127. Criminal complaints issued by officers, 111. Traffic summonses issued by officers, 110. Criminal complaints issued by citizens, 5. Traffic summonses issued by citizens, 0. And the Detective Bureau has 65 investigations. And that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Hess.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to say that all of our public events have been canceled due to COVID-19, and our library has not been open also due to COVID-19, although the library employees are still in the library every day preparing for when they can open. Currently, the library is doing curbside by appointment only. You can call 856-784-5602 to make an appointment. She will do notaries if you have to make copies, print out stuff off the computer. She'll do that stuff for you and bring it out. And that's all that I have.
There's going to be a new Wi-Fi system there, so that you may be able to go into the parking lot and use the Wi-Fi if you have an account at the library. But it's still not installed yet. It'll probably be in next week or so.
Yep.
Okay, who's up next? Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. Not much to offer except that we did start resuming the Saturday code enforcement, which we actually suspended period because of the virus. So that's back up and going again. So that's all I have to add.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Strapoli.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the monthly report for September in the Public Works. Total, we collected 781 tons of trash, 106 tons of recycling. We collected 262 bulk items, 58 scrap metal, 11 concrete, stumps, 8, and no property maintenance. Number of accidents, none. Sewer department, service calls 168, stoppages 13, main stoppages 1, emergency calls 13, pump station repairs 1. The Laurel Springs service calls 3, stoppages 3, emergency calls 3. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Sinan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For senior services, Camden County always has a senior health fair and a caregivers conference. This year, due to the virus, they will not have it, but they will be doing it as a virtual conference online. There's several classes offered, and for example, on the 15th, the therapist's office will be speaking. There can be Zoom boxing. On the 20th, the prosecutor's office will discuss fraud prevention. The 21st, we're going to have emergency preparedness, a senior dance on Zoom. Again, if you go to CamdenCounty.com, there's a full list. For the health department, as I discussed before, that the health department is pushing everyone to get a flu shot this year because you can get the flu and the coronavirus at the same time. So you can go to your doctor's office, a pharmacy. Camden County's health department is going to be out at several locations doing flu shots free, no cost out of pocket, and you have to be 8 and above. They will be at the Lindenwold Complex on Egg Harbor Road on October 22nd from 3 to 7 p.m., October 23rd from 10 to 2, and the 24th also from 10 to 2. And then I just have a few little quick tips about how to wear your mask, because there's been discussions about that. That you need to have at least 2 layers in your mask. You should wash your hands before your mask on and don't touch it. That's very hard to do. We all know that. To cover your nose and mouth, secure the mask around your chin and have it snug to your face. Anyone over 2 should be wearing a mask. Also, do not put the mask around your neck, your forehead, or under your nose or under your chin, and don't have it dangle off one ear. They said all of that can contaminate it. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Ms. Thompson.
Yes, I'm going to give our 2020 census update. The 2020 census was initially extended until October 5th, and then we were told it was extended until October 31st. Now we received the official final announcement that it ends tomorrow, October 15th. We did our best amid this pandemic, but fell short of reaching at least our 2010 response rate of 62.1%. We are currently at 56.7%, which is reported as of October 13th. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank the governing body for entrusting me to serve as the town's census count coordinator and for all of your support in this endeavor. So at the next council meeting, I will give the final response rate. It's our hopes that we will move a little closer to 60%. Again, the 56.7 is reported as of October 13th, so there will still be 2 days of reporting that needs to show up on the census website. With that, I'm going to move into the 2020 Municipal Best Practices Inventory. This is something annual, and it's due this year at the close of business Tuesday, November 3rd. The Best Practices Inventory allows the state to obtain vital information about the status of municipal government practices in New Jersey. The 2020 inventory assesses each municipality's compliance with various laws and evaluates implementation of fiscal and operational best practices. The inventory answers provide taxpayers an additional means of evaluating their municipality's performance. This year, there's a total of 60 questions, and they are distributed amongst 3 scoring categories. Core competencies, 20 questions, best practices, 9 questions, and there are 31 questions that are unscored. Each municipality must receive a minimum score of 16 on the inventory to receive its full final aid payment. I will discuss our best practices score at the next council meeting, as it is due at the close of business on Tuesday, November 3rd. That completes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Coronavirus updates from the Borough of Lindenwold. We're still at 11 deaths. Total number of cases that we are at is 588. I just want everybody to keep this in mind, that since our last meeting, we've gone up 31 more cases. And in the last 3 days, we've gone up 20 cases. Please wear your mask, wash your hands, follow the rules. I know a couple of people who have got this recently, and it is no joke. They get really, really sick. It's no joke. Please. All right. With that, I'm going to read a letter that we'll be putting on the website as soon as this meeting is over for Halloween, and to the residents of Lindenwold. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has recently advised against traditional trick-or-treating this year amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The recommendation came as part of the list of Halloween guidelines from the CDC that is broken down by the levels of risk. Additionally, Governor Phil Murphy has issued Halloween rules and guidelines from the New Jersey Department of Health. Please see the links below for both guidelines from the CDC and the New Jersey Department of Health. This annual tradition is not a borough event. Although trick-or-treating is not a borough event, the governing body of the Borough of Lindenwold is strongly advising against this year amid the COVID-19. We are committed to protecting our community during the public health crisis. However, we realize that families have the freedom to decide whether or not to participate in this annual tradition. There are several safety alternative ways for celebrating Halloween. Outdoor activities instead of indoor parties and events are highly recommended according to the guidelines. If you decide to trick or treat, We encourage you to take the proper precautions to protect your household and others from the COVID-19, including washing and sanitizing your hands, social distancing, wearing face masks, and cover your mouth and nose, not just with the costumes mask and other precautions as listed in the guidelines. Trick-or-treating for Saturday, October 31st will be 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Curfew for the Borough of Lindenwold for 17 years old and under, Friday, October 30th through Sunday, November 1st, will be from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Some residents have expressed their concern and are very uncomfortable opening their doors or having anyone approach their doors for trick-or-treating. For any reason, any resident not wanting to participate this year, we have attached a sign that you can print out and display in your front door, or contact the Lindenwold Borough Municipal Building at 15 North Whitehorse Pike at 856-783-2121, extension 239, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. to pick up a sign no later than Friday, October 30th. Signs will also be available at the Lindenwold Library, 310 East Linden Avenue. Signs will be available inside the Little Free Library located outside of the left of the library. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me either at my email at rroach@lindenwold.net or by phone at 856-783-2121, extension 236. Whatever you decide, please be safe. Sincerely, the Borough of Lindenwold, Mayor and Council. Thank you very much. With that, anyone from the public have any questions or comments? Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please state your name and address for the record, and go ahead.
Diane Detair, 637 Fifth Avenue. I know this came up quite a few times because there's a tour bus that parks for like weekends at a time on home site. But I know they said they've been warned, so why does it keep happening where they're there for 2 and 3 days?
Have
if
you
they've been getting warned, why are they still parking there?
Have you reached out to code enforcement when you see this or hear about this?
Well, no, because it's on the weekend.
Okay, well, we just started the weekend guides again, so please reach out to them and let them know it's on the weekends, and we'll make sure that he gets around to citing them again.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else in the public?
Yeah, Trevor Shaw, corner of Wilson and Norcross. I've got about 2 minutes worth of questions. You prefer I ask them all at once or one at a time?
Anything you wish. Your minute.
So the first question is, why is the text of our ordinances and resolutions not included within the body of each of our meeting agendas, as is commonplace in numerous other more successful towns across the state?
I don't understand what you're requesting is.
Well, so you do understand, sir, because you put up consent agendas which simply have the headline of the resolution. The content of those resolutions is never included until after you voted on them.
Sure.
So how are we, as your public that you serve, supposed to knowledgeably ask questions about ordinances and resolutions that our staff, i.e. you guys, have come up with to improve our community if the text of those ordinances and resolutions isn't provided to us when our council members are voting on them? Especially in times of COVID-19, whereas you may have been posting this stuff inside Borough Hall in the past, we have no access to Borough Hall. So we have no access to the content of these resolutions and or ordinances our staff creates to improve our community until after you've already voted on them. Why is that?
Trevor, I thought that these resolutions and ordinances were posted in full body format on the website. That's not happening?
No, that's never happening, sir.
Okay.
Never.
All right. Well, that's something.
No, that's never, ever happened. Despite our numerous requests, that never happened, sir.
Okay.
It's after the meeting. It is posted.
Right. After the fact, after you guys have already decided how to spend our money to improve our community, then you post it.
Well, after
I think it should be the other way around.
If I can say something, if I recall when we were having in-person council meetings, We've been doing consent agendas for over a year now, and they've been printed for people in the audience who can read them. You were one of them.
Right, and we have the consent agenda, sir. Those are posted. But what my point is, sir, just the headline of each resolution is posted, not the content of that resolution. So we have really no idea what it is you're doing for said liquor license or said maintenance issue or said transfer cancellation or said audit or said Halloween curfew or any of the other resolutions or ordinances that you do so by consent agenda. And while you have been doing that over a year, it certainly doesn't make it right, nor in line with all of the other towns around us that post them prior to the meeting, at least 48 hours prior to the meeting.
All right, it's something that we'll take a look into, Trevor, and we'll get back to you on.
Thank you, Counselor. Second question is, what is the projected completion date for the traffic light upgrades at Carlton, Gisborne, and Berlin Roads?
Greg, are you on the call?
Yes, Mayor. It was a 120-day completion. They did run.
From when was the when was the start date?
Let him finish. Let him finish, Trevor. You asked the
I
question.
don't have the date that it started. They ran into problems with underground piping, so they were able to get an extension from when it started. And had to add.
Sure, not a problem. I'm not looking to challenge the process. I'm just looking to see when the completion date is. That's all.
Last I heard, the control box was bench testing. After they know that's completed, they should be out. The backfilling was supposed to be done Friday. It should be done this week, by the end of the week, for the backfilling around the sidewalk that they did.
Okay, yeah, I think they actually did the backfilling. I was more the trash bags that are on the light and the 2x4s that are holding wires up is more of an indication that the project's not done yet. Again, not a problem that the project's not done. I was just looking for a date as to when it's supposed to be. What is the projected completion date for the Arborwood takeover and renovations, and where can we find digital copies of the renderings of what Arborwood will look like when the new Northgate owners finish their work?
The Arborwood project has been delayed as a result of the COVID-19 shutdown. The governor, through executive order, has placed a moratorium on all eviction actions and foreclosures. The condemnation process, which is what we're utilizing in the Arborwood project, has been put on hold as a result of that, which has pushed the date back. We're down to our approximately last maybe 30 to 50 units right now in terms of acquisition, but when that starts moving forward again is really at this point anybody's guess. The courts are technically open, but nobody's allowed to appear in them. They're only doing things by video conferencing and telephone calls at this point. So I can't give you an exact date or even an approximation as to when that will be completed. With respect to drawings, and we do have some stuff here at the Borough Hall.
It was out on Lindenwold, right?
Right, as to what it's going to look like when they begin the renovation process. My understanding is, with respect to the renovation process, is that they're waiting until acquisition is complete before they begin renovation process.
Of course, that makes complete sense. But my question actually is in regard to not the pictures you guys brought to Lindenwold Day. Of course, there's not going to be one this year, but about digital copies so that people who live in the community can see and anticipate what is coming in terms of look and feel of Arborwood's new redevelopment.
I don't know if we have any digital, but I'll look into it and we'll see what we can do. I'll ask the redeveloper if they can get some sort of. They did have drawings and pictures. Is that what you're looking for? Something in digital format?
Yeah, exactly. They could be emailed or posted in PDF or the like. Even JPEGs would work. Any digital format would work.
Okay. I'll ask them about it and I'll see what we can do for you. I'll get back to you on it.
Okay, third question. When the Lindentown repaving project was first discussed, the plan was to repave it in two sections, the first half 1 year and the second half the next. The original estimate came in at about $350,000 to the first half, but after realizing that engineers didn't account for the parking spaces and all the curb work, that estimate ultimately jumped up to about $475,000. Still, though, projected to occur within two phases over 2 years. And while the first phase seems complete and looks great, by the way, it doesn't seem to be half complete. what is the current plan, timeline, and cost to repave all of Lindentown?
Greg, do you know where we are with that?
Yes, Dawn. Unfortunately, it's engineers that come up with that cost, and they have not moved past phase 1. And with the additional storm drain work that had to be done, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned into a 3-year project.
Okay, fair enough, but it would seem to me, at least the original plan was to do half and half. As I say, it looks like only about a quarter of it has been done now after the first phase is complete. Where would we find a copy of or some sort of document detailing what the current plan, timeline, and cost is?
There isn't another timeline as of right now. Everything's on hold until we can come up with the funding. We get funding to do these roads and stuff, and until the funding comes through, until we can find more money, it's on hold.
That's perfectly understood, sir, but it was under our understanding that half would be done at the price tag of $475,000, having jumped from $350,000. We've now spent, presumably, the $475,000, but half the project has not been completed.
Okay. Next.
Okay, next question. Why are announcement about census events posted to the borough website, e-blasted to the email distribution list, and bolstered with signs plastered all over town, but events like free food distributions, free flu shots at the Lindenwold complex, and the opening of a veteran center in Lindenwold named after one of our own hometown heroes are not posted, blasted, or bolstered at all?
Okay. We did nothing about the food pantry until it was too late.
That was the county.
That was the county, and
The
the
Carlton Room, we never knew nothing about any of it because we all just...
yeah, Carlton Rue, we weren't even told about. It was set up by a certain individual in town that you were part of, and nobody notified the borough council or any of us. So we were very upset when we found out about it.
But none of us could even do that.
It is a very sad state of affairs, guys, that the South Jersey Food Bank, the county, and the Department of Veterans Affairs can all host events in your town, and you A, don't know about them, and B, can't inform your public about them so that they can attend.
And your point being, Trevor?
It's a sad state of affairs.
Yes, it is, Trevor. Whatever you say, Trevor.
Okay. Last question, I believe. Lindenwold is ranked as the 6th most diverse town in New Jersey. Our schools continue to rank as some of the worst in the state. While not a reflection of ability, more than 80% of the Lindenwold student body is at or below the poverty line. We have an ever-increasing number of students of all abilities in district. Do you think our tax dollars would be better spent and our community better served if we had a public library that was ADA compliant and led by a certified librarian who was also bilingual?
Trevor, thank you very much for your questions. Have a nice day. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
I would be willing to accept an answer on that last question from any member of council, including Dawn, Councilor Capozzi,
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Or you, Mayor.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Everybody have a joyful evening.